So today we're doing a shop update. As you can see, the TF is gone. We found a nice little break in the weather where the owner came and got it. My understanding is he's going to pull the engine himself and then probably bring it to me at a later date to go through it to see what I can do to make it right. But we'll find out if he calls me again. Now the Green Phoenix here, obviously we got the engine torn apart last week. As soon as somebody gets their garage cleaned out enough, this is going to go away and go into storage for a little bit until the engine's ready to put back in it to make some space here in the shop. Now, as you can see, the Healy's still here too, and the engine's sitting back in it. Well, after I got the engine out and we were getting ready to send it off to his body man, he decided to bring the body man over here to take a look at it before shipping it over there. And the body man basically said no. He was not going to paint this thing on top of what's already here because the floors are really nasty and the lower fenders and all that stuff is just, it's all just galvanized steel from here down, pop riveted in place and bonded over. And he said, I'm not painting over that. And I cannot do that metalwork for you because I just sold my shop and I only have access to the paint booth. And if you get me to do all the metalwork, he would paint it. Except my winter is already kind of booked out. There's no way I could touch something like this for a customer for a minimum of 6 months, probably a year. And we talked to him about stuff like once the body's painted, all the chrome, what it looks like, how much he's going to have in that interior and all that stuff. And it was kind of getting to that point of, yeah, maybe I don't want to put that much money into the car after all. So I sat down and had a talk with him about, gave him realistic numbers of what this car is actually worth as a project to somebody. And he went away and thought about it for a while. And he called me the other day and said he's going to sell it. He's not going to move forward with the project. And he decided to make me an offer on helping him to sell the car. And once he told me what he actually wanted to walk away from the deal with, that was notably less than what I told him the car is actually worth. And I decided to make a deal with him. So I'm in the process of buying it off of him. And just unless he changes his mind between now and him getting me the title and me giving him the money. But what am I going to do with it? I have no idea at the moment. It's just one of those things where I've always liked the Heelys, the big Heelys, but they've always been kind of just out of my price range of actually popping the money down to go buy one and start working on one. But this one kind of puts me into that range, and I decided to maybe it'd be a good project for me down the road. And I actually was going to pass on it because of storage issues. Where am I going to store it? Until a friend of mine said, if you buy it, I'll store it for you because I want to see you buy it. I want this car to be a part of your life because I think he wants to get involved in it too at some point. So yeah, that's why it's still sitting here. Once I get the deal done, get the title in my name, it's going to go into storage until such time as I can play with it again. Now maybe spring, summer range, I might get it back out of storage, bring it back over here, get the carburetors cleaned up, get them all put back on, go through the brakes, get it running and driving, and just enjoy it as a beater Healy for a while. Or also maybe in a year or so down the line, maybe I'll bring it in and we'll actually start doing all the metalwork, but floors, rockers, lower fenders, and make a real project out of it. And of course, in between now and then, if somebody decides they want it more than me and offers me the right money for it, I probably also would sell it too. So we'll see what happens with this one. And now this obviously I haven't been doing really any videos on this because I've been so back and forth just working on it just little bits at a time. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get this thing buttoned up and out of the shop here really soon, because I just have stuff to do, like get the radiator duct panel in place and one more little thing on the back of it, and mount a sway bar. And then he's going to take it home, and then he gets to give his wife the bad news that she's going to lose her parking space again. And of course, the TD over here, we haven't been working on much for a while. We're going to get back into this and start making some progress again. Been trying to get the dashboard put together, been having some problems sourcing some bits, and when I did source the one bit, it wasn't any good, so I got to find another one. So once I get the dash together, then I can get the wiring hooked up enough that we can actually fire the engine for the first time, take it through its break-in cycle and see if it's any good. And then once that's done, we can actually move forward on assembling this thing. Now, meanwhile, I have been working a bit on the shop lately. Usually in the week, last week of December, first week of January, I spend time cleaning the shop up and cleaning up all the little messes that I leave behind all year long, so that I can leave all new messes the coming year. But, you know, I do stuff like repaint the stripes, will show me where I need to park on under the lift, and just general cleanup. But we actually started a little bit early this year, closer to Thanksgiving, working on some tidbits, like finally got my door squared up in the opening. A friend of mine was in town visiting from Colorado, and he knew how to adjust these things. So we got it adjusted. I put all new door sweep, and finally got my garage door opener installed from the old shop. So now we're all high-tech redneck instead of all heave-ho and hope it stays up. We can just push a button. Winning. One of the other things I finally got finished is the wall up there. We finally got finished getting the framing done, insulated, and covered and painted. And I'm putting up some shelving up there to be able to store some lighter stuff up there out of the way. So, and then we got the other furnace up and running finally, because when I first got in this place, I didn't think that furnace was going to be anywhere near enough, because it is actually undersized for this size building. But I didn't have that one hooked up yet. And this one ended up doing surprisingly well in keeping up with it, because we insulated so well in this place that that one wasn't quite so necessary. But it's finally hooked up and working. So if we ever have a problem with this one, we can just switch to that one. Or if we see sub-zero weather, I can turn both of them on so that that one's not running quite as often. And we went ahead and got some covers for these windows here, some blinds, we can pull it down whenever we get really sunny days. I have trouble with the glare on the camera through this area. So now we can pull that down and stop that glare. Of course, next 3 months we're probably not going to see that many sunny days, but hey, they're up there. So now once the Healy is gone, then we're going to be working back here, cleaning this area back here up. We're finally going to get the shear actually properly set up back in here where I can start using it and start doing some more metal work. This is going to become an actual metalworking area, and we're going to take Project Ginsu and slide it forward up to where the Healy's at, and maybe once it's out here, I'll get started working on it again. Wouldn't that be fun?